So just waiting for people to jump online. And my name is Brahman, and I am a disciple of Sri Sakthi Amma, who lives in southern India. Amma is an avatar of our time, and she's an incarnation of Divine Mother, of Goddess Narayani. And so, I've been on the spiritual path for around 19 years. And, I didn't get onto the spiritual path because I was wanting something, spiritual. I got on the path to escape my pain, really, and to get away from my pain. And lo and behold, what I received after surrendering and getting on the spiritual path because of my challenges was a divine life that opened up for me, where, I commune with the divine in so many different ways and have this beautiful life that is a byproduct of me, wanting to overcome my challenges and my pain. Amma talks a lot about that, embracing our challenges, because most of the time they're the things that get us onto our path. And so, I got clean and sober 19 years ago, and I, started on the path of recovery and still practice that path and that program. And then, about 6 years into my recovery life, I found Amma, and prior to that, I was with Shakti Durga in Sydney, learning about spirituality and the soul and devotion, all that stuff, all that good stuff. And, so my experience has been through surrendering and picking up this tool of devotion, or Bhakti, we like to call it. Devotion was a little bit too far-fetched for me in the beginning, and I didn't really understand. I couldn't really access devotion because my heart was closed. My heart was closed because of the pain and the trauma and the fear and all that stuff. And so I couldn't really access devotion, but I started to understand a little bit about gratitude. And so, we would do simple things like writing a gratitude list every day. And when I meditated with my then teacher, Shakti Durga, and then later on when I was doing puja, which is a devotional practice with Amma, I started to access a bit more of this love that they talk about around the love of the divine, and it started with gratitude, and that grew, and that the gratitude opened my heart. And as I surrendered more and more to the spiritual path, I started to be able to access this love, and this bhakti, this love of God, really was a profound game changer for me, profound game changer. And, sorry, and so anyway, I started on the bhakti path, and I could really start to access that love. And then the more I practiced the path of devotion, the more my heart opened. And the more my heart opened, the more heavenly my life became. And the power of devotion really helped me to open my heart and experience, I was so terrified of opening my heart because there was a lot of pain in there, and I was so terrified of feeling that pain because historically I wasn't able to handle it. I wasn't able to process that fear or pain or trauma. And so, my MO back in the day was to shut it down. And so then, I couldn't do that anymore because I was on the path of recovery. And so I'd surrendered the old programs of medicating my feelings and shoving my feelings down or acting my feelings out. I surrendered that, and the two things of surrender and bhakti are primarily the two things that have fundamentally transformed my life. And I've watched these two principles of surrender and devotion transform the lives of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that I've had the good fortune of walking alongside on this spiritual path, And, and surrender is scary because if one is being asked to surrender, it's easy to do the same thing. It's easy to do the same thing over and over again, even if, it brings us pain or suffering. It's familiar. The ego likes it. The mind likes it. And so it's easy to keep doing the same thing. But when we come to those crossroads, those divine crossroads, and it's where we know that internally I can't keep doing the same thing. I know that internally I have to do something different. There's going to be a surrender involved there, and there's definitely going to be fear come up because the ego knows that it's going to dissolve somewhat. The ego is going to dissolve a little bit, because when we surrender, it's like we stop giving the power to our egoic mind or our egoic vehicle, and we reroute our energy and we choose to give it to the unknown, which is going to be the divine at the beginning of the path, and even along the way, the divine keeps calling us into higher and higher states of consciousness where we have not been before. So we don't know the terrain. Our mind gets scared around that stuff. Our ego definitely gets scared because the ego likes to feel safe in the fact that it knows everything. And, and where the divine wants to take us, there is absolutely going to be a surrender, and the fear of the unknown is going to come up. It's going to arise within us. And, so it takes incredible strength to surrender, actually. And it takes, it's easy to stay the same, even if it's painful, but it takes incredible strength to make the decision. I'm going to surrender everything I think I know. I'm going to surrender, all of my old ideas and old behaviors that were once so familiar and gave me a sense of security. I'm going to surrender all of that and give it to God, and I'm going to follow the divine's guidance, even if I can't understand it or I don't understand it. And even if I don't know what it looks like or how it's going to feel, or, I don't know the particulars about where I'm going, but I'm going to surrender doing the same thing that I've always done because I want a new experience. And so, surrender is a very, very when we're at the crossroads of surrender, it's a pivotal moment, and we can look back at our lives and we can really see clearly, that was a surrender moment there. And, thank God I surrendered, because had I kept going the way I was going, it wouldn't have been a great outcome for me. Or, I couldn't see. God has way more vision than we do. And, our higher self has way more vision than our lower self, and we can't foresee really, sometimes what's good for us or what we need. But when we surrender, I love what Amma says. Amma says, when we surrender to the divine, we become God's responsibility, and then we have everything that we need. And I love that, because, most of the fear that I've had personally is thinking that I'm going to lose something that I already have, or that I won't get something that I think I need, or something that I think I want, or I know I want, that's where the fear comes. That's where the clenching and the attachment comes. And, I've had enough experience over the last 19 years to know best thing to do, safest thing to do is surrender. And that power, whether you know it or not, that power is always with you because it lives inside of you. You can't be separate from it. And sometimes we feel very alone when we're walking the spiritual path, or where, we feel really isolated in our own experience. Sometimes we're having a karmic experience that the nature of the karma is that we feel very isolated and alone, And again, if you look back at those times where you felt really alone, you may look back and think, oh my God, God was the closest to me, than I had ever experienced it. And I look back sometimes and I think, God, there were so many times, where I was in the fetal position, thinking to myself, I'm not going to be able to keep going, or, and then getting little divine messages along the way, being open to those little divine messages around, that I'm not alone and that the divine is always there. And I think sometimes we think the divine's separate to us or outside of us or something, It's hard for the mind to fathom the majesty and the greatness of the Parashakti, it's hard. But the reality is that Parashakti also lives inside of each one of us. And when we surrender and we've finished playing with the materialistic, toys of the world and we surrender, it's we get access to that power, we get access to that divine energy, and that's the power of surrender. It gives us like access granted. It gives us access to that power that is actually inside of us. So surrender does that. And then the bhakti, the devotion, is the thing that if we practice the devotion, Amma talks about that the divine is hidden in the mantra, you know. And so when we practice devotion, we end up merging and mingling again with that divine energy in a very embodied and grounded way. So if we have a sadhana, a daily spiritual practice, and we are engaging with mantra, you know, when we're chanting the divine names, or puja, where, you know, puja is an offering of one's heart, maybe through the vehicle or the form of offering turmeric water or rose water or vibhuti or, you know, whatever, kumkum, flowers, you know, and that we're offering our heart to the divine, and maybe it's through puja, which is something that I do every day. You know, we get to, the more we practice that through our devotion, we end up merging with that supreme energy. And, you know, sometimes we don't even realize, like I didn't even realize the power of puja. I'd been doing it for many years actually, and didn't realize the power of puja, which involves mantra as well, reciting those divine names. I didn't realize the power until, you know, I think I was sick one time and I didn't do it for a week or so. And then I could feel my consciousness. I could feel it sort of, you know, astral gravity, like going down into a bit more negativity. And, you know, I could really feel the negative imprints of the collective consciousness that, you know, prior to that, I hadn't been feeling, because the power of the puja was like a divine force field around me. So I've had many experiences where I've had the experience where I've learned the power of puja, the power of devotion. You know, puja is a devotional practice. And so, you know, we get to merge with divine consciousness as we're reciting the mantra, as we're practicing the puja, and that bhakti that we're engaging, that we're offering our heart to the divine, we become magnetic. We become magnetic to the divine. You know, it's like we pull the divine really close to us when we are open-heartedly surrendering and offering our heart through the vehicle of puja or mantra, or, you know, whatever, and abhishekam, which is what I do, you know, the sacred bathing ceremony, where we're bathing the deity. And, you know, it's an incredible tool of oneness, actually, the bhakti path. Again, we can start with gratitude. If we have a Western mind like I did, and I couldn't really get there. It felt like the devotion felt like too much of a stretch for my Western mind. I would see people being very devotional, and because, you know, before I got on the spiritual path, I was not living a spiritual life at all. I was churning and burning through lots of karma and lots of pain and suffering. I was living a bit of a, you know, unspiritual life, let's put it that way. And so when I would see people with all the devotion, you know, for God, I couldn't digest it, and I kind of felt like a bit resistant to it. But as I said, we start with gratitude, and we can all find something to be grateful for. And when you actually, you know, when you get on the spiritual path and you get a moment to actually appraise your life and have a little look at the experiences you've had in your life, you can clearly see, there was something looking after me then. There was grace. Even though I was going through that hard thing, there was grace. I had grace there, you know, at that time, even though at the time I didn't see it. And so we can all find the gratitude for that great spirit, that Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call that, God, Guru, you know, Jesus, Allah, Krishna, you know, whatever name you want to call that force of nature, that divine supreme energy. We can all have the gratitude for those experiences. I certainly do. And so, so yeah, so there you go. So I thought we would I'd lead you in a bit of a practice around a little meditation, and then a little bit of japa, where we're practicing and we're doing some chanting of the divine names. And this will really help us get into our heart and get our heart in a receptive place where we can receive the divine and receive that divine energy. So let's do that. Let's do that. So just coming into your heart and just closing your eyes and just feeling how you feel in your own body right now. And if you can access gratitude, if you're feeling like a bit resistant to it, if you're feeling open to it, it's all perfect. We're all sliding around somewhere on our journey of self-realization, where we're coming into more, enlightenment around ourselves, around our life, when we're seeking more peace, So just coming into your heart. So I call on my beloved Guru Sri Sakthi Amma, Om Namo Narayani. And I call on the spirit of peace, the spirit of devotion, the power of the Bhakti, the power of surrender. I call on the spiritual teachings and tools that help us surrender and open our heart to devotion. I call on the light, love, and power of the divine, and all of the many flavors, names, and styles that the divine goes by that best suit your heart. I call that forward now. And I ask for a deepening of our devotion, an opening of our heart, a surrender of our mind and our ego, with great gratitude for all that the ego and the mind provide for us and our experience living in these bodies. But I ask for a deepening in devotion, a blessing actually from the divine of devotion. Amma says that if one wants to have devotion, the divine must give the blessing first, And from my experience, that comes from surrendering and sincerely trying to align myself with this supreme energy. So I ask all of this in full faith. Through Amma's grace, so be it. So just say, I now release all negative thoughts, feelings, vibrations, and emotions from my mind, my body, and my energy field. Through divine grace, so be it. And just breathing in and releasing from everywhere. Om Ekadandhaya Vinmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanhu Danthe Prachodayata. Om Ekadandhaya Vinmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanhu Danthe Prachodayata. Om Ekadandhaya Vinmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanhu Danthe Prachodayata. So breathing in and just releasing from everywhere. And imagine that you can just let go of any stress you're holding. And we're just going to do 9 Oms together. So just coming into your heart, when we chant together, we open up channels of grace. And so just being aware of your heart chakra as you chant Om. And we'll do that together, and we'll do that 9 times. Om. 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 And just breathing in and get a sense of how different you feel in your body. Just getting a sense of the energy. It's a really profound way to stabilize and purify your energy is to chant. Mantra means through the mind or through to the heart, through to the soul. It's a technique that purifies our energy immediately. It's vibrational medicine. And so when we chant, we activate the divine energy within us and around us. It helps to stabilize and regulate our nervous system, which is constantly trying to digest life, digest everything that's happened, past, present, and the forecast, the spiritual forecast of what is yet to come. And so our responsibility is to support our nervous system and our energy the best way that we can in order to digest our life. And our surrender and bhakti are two of the most profound tools to help us do this. And so one of my tools that I use is a simple surrender prayer. So just being in your heart and just say, I now surrender everything I think I know and all of the old ideas I have about every single aspect of my life. And I ask for an open mind and a new experience. Through divine grace, so be it. And just breathing in and just see yourself surrendering your mind, just surrendering to the divine. Om Katyayanaya Vidmahe Kanya Kumari Dhimahi Tannho Durge Prachodayata. Om Katyayanaya Vidmahe Kanya Kumari Dhimahi Tannho Durge Prachodayata. Om Katyayanaya Vidmahe Kanya Kumari Dhimahi Tannho Durge Prachodayata. Breathing in and just surrender. Imagine that you have your head at the feet of God, that you are surrendering your mind, that you are surrendering your feelings, all your feelings, your emotions. You're surrendering your stress, your anxiety, your trauma. Just feel yourself with the head at the feet of your guru, the divine, God, whatever you want to call that force, that supreme energy. Just surrender. And then another tool I use is cutting cords of attachment. So as you find yourself with your head at the feet of God, just say, I now cut all cords of attachment that are connecting me and binding me to any person, place, thing, time, and event that's draining my energy and keeping me stuck. I lovingly cut these cords of attachment and I surrender and I set myself free. Jane Ma. And again, breathing in and feeling Durga with her sword, cutting those cords of attachment all the way down the front of your chakra system. Om Katyayana Vidmahe Kanya Kumari Dhimahe Tandho Durge Prachodayata. Om Katyayana Vidmahe Kanya Kumari Dhimahe Tandho Durge Prachodayata. Om Katyayana Vidmahe Kanya Kumari Dhimahe Tandho Durge Prachodayata. Breathing in and feel those cords, all the entanglements being cut with Durga's sword. Just feel her cutting all of those cords of attachment as you surrender them, Really good. So feeling that surrender. And again, just being aware of your mind and whatever thoughts come up, just surrendering them at the feet. Again, any recycled thought from your past that may be entangled with some trauma or some pain, just offer them up. And then any fear of the future where your mind is fixated on some time that is not the present, that hasn't happened yet, that doesn't actually exist yet. Just feel a surrender in that and just hand it over. We say hand it over, surrender at the feet of God. And then we're going to do a little practice where we chant. We're going to chant Om Namo Narayani, Om Namo Narayani. This is a Maha mantra, and it literally means I surrender to Divine Mother. Namo means to bow or I surrender. Narayani is the name for the supreme energy, the ultimate Divine Mother, supreme energy. Om Namo Narayani, I surrender. And also means I bow to the power in everything. I bow to the power in everything. So we're just going to chant 54 times, actually. We're going to chant that. And so just being aware, and we're going to chant together. And as you chant Om Namo Narayani, feel it in your heart chakra. Feel the vibration in the heart chakra. And just surrender to the power of the sound and Nada Shakti. So we'll chant together. Om Namo Narayani. 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 Om Narayani. Om Namo 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 Narayani. Narayani. Om Namo 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 Narayani. Just breathing in the energy and just feeling the vibration of the mantra. And just feeling the energy, the shift in your energy, maybe the purification in your mind. And just feel yourself aligning with some of these divine principles. The power of surrender. And again, just visualize yourself merging with that divine energy. And just repeat after me and just say, I'm open to expanding into more bhakti and the principle of surrender than ever before. I ask for divine blessings of the gift of devotion. Divine Mother, through your grace, please bless me with devotion, with a heart that yearns to know God, liberation, divine love, divine wisdom, and divine power. And through this gift of devotion, may I merge with you. May I realize that you and I are one. Through the power of devotion and the grace of surrender, so be it. And now just receiving this blessing. Om Namo Bhagavati Sarvalokarakshaki Hum Hum Ring Kleem Om Mahadevi Hai Namah Swaha Namo Bhagavati Sarvalokarashaki Hum Hum Ring Klim Om Mahadevi Hai Namah Swaha Om Namo Bhagavati Sarvalokarashaki Hum Hum Ring Klim Om Mahadevi Hai Namah Swaha. Just breathing in, just breathe in the energy. And again, just feel it in the cells of your body, this merging and mingling of divine consciousness and divine Shakti, divine energy. And really feel the gap between you and that supreme energy. Feel that gap closing through your surrender and your bhakti. And we'll just call that energy back and from any of the attachments, the old attachments, and just say, I reclaim my spirit and call back my energy from any time I've given it away. So be it. And just breathe in and just call all your energy back. Om Hum Hari Hari Hum. 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 Just breathing all your energy back, calling your spirit back. Through divine grace, call your spirit back and just feel yourself in your body. And just again, just reaffirming the power of that gratitude or devotion in your life. And just say, may the power of devotion bless all parts of my life. May my heart be so alive with the power of devotion that I embody bliss, joy, happiness, peace and prosperity, body, mind, and spirit. May I realize myself as Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati, and Mahakali. May I realize myself through my devotion and surrender. May I realize myself as this energy. Through Amma's grace, so be it. And just breathing in through the third eye. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. Om Namo Narayani. And just breathing in the energy in through the crown chakra, all the way down through the body, and releasing into the ground, and just feeling yourself connected with the earth energy beneath you, wherever you are in the world, wherever you're doing this practice, know that you are a powerful channel of divine grace when you consciously work with the Shakti in this way. And so just sending all of this energy and any excess energy into your Earth Star chakra just beneath your feet, into the earth as a gift to Parameshwara, as a gift to Mother Gaia. This beautiful energy now that's alive within you. Give it to the Mother. And coming back into your heart. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into your body after your practice. Jai Ma. So I hope you found that practical and powerful. And I just thought I would open it up now. If there's anyone online that would like to ask any questions or share any insights or anything like that, you can pop your questions in the chat. Let me have a little look. Okay. You can pop your questions in the chat, and if there are none, that is totally fine. We can just sit in the bliss of the practice and just enjoy the energy. Jai Ma. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. So Sri Sakthi Amma has a whole 11-volume range of books. I believe you can get them online now, or you can get them from Peedam in person in India, but I'm not sure where you are in the world. But you can definitely get those books, are the most profound that I've experienced. Also Shakti Durga, and you can check her out on shaktidurga.com. And she has a whole range of books as well that really speak to all of these things that we've been speaking about today, devotion and surrender, your energy body, the terrain of the soul, lots of different things like that. So spiritual mastery, dimensions of wealth. So she does a lot of beautiful books around all of that, if you'd like to have a look. But other than that, for sure, these teachings that I have experienced come from Amma. So you can check that out. You can check it out. And Amma's website is Narayani Peedam, srinarayanipeedam.org, I believe. And so you can check out. And on Amma's website, actually, there are all of the mantras and the meanings of the mantras and all of that stuff. I'll just double check. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah, Narayani Peedam, narayanipeedam.org. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Any other questions? Yes, anyone can practice Om Namo Narayani. And I might just even put it in the chat. Om Namo Narayani. Oh, didn't work here. Oh, I my goggles on. Hang on. Om Namo Narayani. There we go. There we go. Yeah, and the beautiful thing actually about Bhakti is that you don't have to have, all of the wisdom of the Vedas, or, like anyone that has a heart that yearns to deepen their connection with the divine can practice the path of Bhakti, and that's the beautiful thing. If you have a heart, if you have a beautiful heart chakra, or any kind of heart chakra, if you're starting off with the path or you've been on the path for a long time, Bhakti is just the Amma talks about the quickest way. Bhakti is the quickest way to connect with the divine, particularly in this age of Kali Yuga, when there's a lot of negative energy at times, and negative forces. That the path of Bhakti is the fastest way to connect with the divine, and anyone can chant Om Namo Narayani. And you'll find that chanting Om Namo Narayani 108 times each day will change your life. It'll just plug you into that divine energy, and anyone can chant Om Namo Narayani. It's a Maha Mantra, and she's given that. It's actually, the first time in the history of forever that Narayani, that anyone has even known what Narayani has looked like, because Amma has incarnated at this time of Kali Yuga and has given us this mantra to practice. And so it's really sacred and very, very powerful. So Narayani is Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Durga. It's the triple goddess. And so when we chant Om Namo Narayani, we're accessing the energy of Lakshmi, which is the goddess of wealth and prosperity and beauty and love, Saraswati, which is the wisdom and creativity, and Durga, which is the power and the strength and the courage. So when we're chanting Om Namo Narayani, we're activating those three gunas, those three qualities of energy inside of us. So it's incredibly powerful. So Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Well, thank you for joining. It was a pleasure to be with you all. Love sharing my heart around bhakti and surrender. It's my favorite thing in the world, actually. So thank you for joining me today on this live broadcast, and I hope that you enjoyed the session. Om Namo Narayani. Jai Ma.